Welcome to This is Salvation,
a podcast brought to you by Oldbury Media.
Through real stories, real faith and real hope, we hope you'll experience the life-changing power of salvation.
Is it live now then, the audio? Ready?
This is salvation. Real stories, real faith, real hope. Oh.
Is that when we've started? Welcome to the very first episode of This is Salvation. And joining me is Adele.
He's looking at me. You want me to say more? Oh my gosh, this is horrible.
Yeah, like, you know, because say, I'm excited to be part of this or
look forward
whatever.
to it. Yeah. It's going to be really good to hear everybody's stories.
It's not going to work if you just go, yeah. How do you start? Do we look up?
How often do I have to look at that?
Well, here we go. Welcome to the very first episode of This is Salvation. I can't do it. Well, blah, blah, blah. Start again. Well, here we go. That was even wrong.
Here we go.
Sounded weird, didn't it?
No.
Well, here we the superstar DJ. Here we go. Don't know why I did that. Well, here we go. Welcome to the very first episode of This is Salvation. I'm Luke, and this podcast is something we've been thinking about for quite a while because we felt the need to create a space for something deeper. A space for stories, a space for honesty, and a space for hope. Maybe you're listening to this on the school run, or on your lunch break, or at 2 a.m. because you can't sleep. However you found this, I want you to know we're really glad you're here. And joining me is Adele.
Hello. It's exciting stuff, and I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's stories and learning a little bit myself.
So this podcast comes out of the Salvation Army here in Oldbury, and yes, we are a church.
We are.
You might know us from our shops, or uniform, or brass bands, but we're a group of ordinary people who've seen God do extraordinary things. And that's what this series is about. It's not about religion, not about ritual, but it's about rescue. And in fact, that's what the word salvation means. Rescue, restoration, a second chance. And week by week, we're going to unpack this. One story, one conversation, one moment at a time. We're not here to pretend we've got it all figured out, are we?
No, not at all.
And we're here because we've discovered something, or rather someone, who changed everything for us. And we believe he can do the same for you. So in today's episode, we're going to share the why behind the whole project and what This is Salvation really means and who it's for. Let's get into it. So let me explain why we've started This is Salvation. It's not because we needed something else to do. It's because we really believe in what this word salvation means. For some people, that word might feel outdated, churchy, religious. But for us, salvation is everything. It's not just a word, it's a story. It's the moment you realise you don't have to fix yourself. It's the second chance you didn't think you'd get. It's the quiet whisper that tells you you're not alone, you're not beyond hope, and you're not too far gone. There's a verse in the Bible, Titus 2, verse 11, that says, "For the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation to all people." Not to the good ones, not to the religious ones, not to the ones who have it all together, but to all people. And that means you, and that means me, and that means you, Adele. That means the single parent who thinks they've failed, the teenager who's quietly wondering if life's worth it. That's who this podcast is for, because that's who Jesus came for. I've been in rooms where someone walks in for a food parcel and walks out having encountered peace for the very first time in years. I've sat with people who felt like God had given up on them, only to watch them discover he never had. And over the years, I've come to believe that stories like those don't just belong in Sunday services. They belong in your ears, in your heart, and in your newsfeed. Because if he can do it for them, he can do it for you.
And he can. He can do it for the old, for the young. He's done it for us. And it's really exciting to know that you've got Jesus looking out for us.
That's exactly it. You know, we're not going to pretend we have all the answers, but we do believe in a God who does. And through this podcast, we want to share stories of salvation in real life, honest conversations about faith and doubt, and all the simple but life-changing truth that no one is beyond God's love. So whether you're just curious, or you're desperately searching, or you're somewhere in between, you're invited. This is for you, and this is salvation. So now that we've talked about why we're doing this, let me share what you can actually expect from This is Salvation. First of all, we'll be releasing a new episode twice a month, on the first and third Thursdays of each month. And each episode will be about 15, 20 minutes, just enough time to listen on your commute, your coffee break, or while you're out walking the dog. And every episode will do one of two things. We'll either have a conversation with someone who's experienced salvation in a personal, powerful way, someone who thought they were too far gone, too broken, too messy, but yet God met them right there. Or we'll explore a big question or a real life topic that people are wrestling with, whether they're Christian or not. So that means in the months ahead, we're going to be dividing into questions like, what actually is faith and why does it matter? Why did Jesus have to die? Can I be a Christian and still struggle with doubt? Well, we all do that, don't we?
We do.
Where is God when I'm suffering? What is the Salvation Army really? Is it a charity or something more? What does Easter or Christmas or any of it have to do with us? And we'll be honest, we'll be real, we'll never assume that you already believe. In fact, we're making this podcast for people who don't.
Indeed. We hope they'll be fun, exciting, we hope not to be too serious, and we just want to have lots of fun along the way.
Yeah, too serious like me. That's right, every episode will include a bit of a story, some honest conversation, a connection to scripture maybe, and a reflection maybe to carry on into your week. So you'll get to hear from people in our church family, from guests with incredible stories, from everyday people who've been through storms and still found grace. And we'll explore what salvation really means, not just in a moment, but in a lifetime. So that's the kind of journey we're inviting you into. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not sure this podcast is for me, stick around, because in the next few minutes, we'll want to talk directly to you, especially if you feel like you're on the outside looking in. So now you know what's coming. But we want to take a moment to tell you exactly who this podcast is for. So if you're listening and wondering, is this really for someone like me? Then the answer is yes. This is for you. Maybe you used to believe, but life got complicated, and now you're not sure what you think anymore. Maybe you feel like a hypocrite, or like you've done too much. Or maybe you've had a bad experience with the church, and you're not ready to go back. But that's okay, and that's what this space is for. It's for you. And I want to say something really clearly at the start of this series. You don't have to have it all together to be here. You don't have to agree with everything we say. We don't agree with each other all the time, do we?
We don't.
You don't even have to believe in God yet. And if you're willing to lean in, to listen and reflect, you're welcome. We believe God isn't afraid of your questions or anyone's questions, or your doubts or your mess. In fact, he often meets us right in those places, doesn't he?
He does. Just keep with us, keep listening. We're all on this journey together, and when we first start out, it's not easy. And just keep at it. You might hear something that really gets to your heart.
Yeah, so whoever you are, whether you've never prayed before, or you're someone who's tried everything else and nothing seems to fill that gap, we hope you'll journey with us. Not to join a religion, not to follow rules, but to maybe, just maybe, discover that salvation is closer than you might think. And it's not about earning it, it's about receiving it. So before we finish up today, we want to come back to you with that one big word, salvation. What is it? Why does it matter? And what could it look like in your life? So let's talk about that. So I've used this word a lot, salvation. It's the name of the podcast, it's the mission of our church. And for a lot of us, it's the thing that changed everything. But what does it actually mean? Is it a religious idea? Is it a church word? Or something more? The Bible talks about salvation in lots of places. But here's one I want to leave with you today. From the book of Romans, chapter 5, verse 8. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were sinners, Christ died for us. And that's it. That's salvation. It's not about us reaching up to God. It's about him reaching down to us. It's not something you achieve. It's something you receive. God saw our mess. God saw our rebellion, our pain, our pride. And instead of walking away, he stepped in. Jesus gave his life. Not because we earned it, but because he loves us. Salvation means we don't have to carry guilt. It means forgiveness in real. And it means your story isn't over.
And that's amazing, because I don't know about you, but I do wrong things every day, and so that's pretty amazing that God would do that for us.
Exactly. So if you've ever wondered, could God really forgive me? Is there hope for someone like me? What would it even look like to start again? Then you're in the right place. This is salvation. And in the weeks ahead, you'll hear stories of people who've experienced it. You'll hear about real life faith, honest doubts, dramatic turnarounds, and slow journeys back home. But we're not here to give you formulas. We're here to introduce you to the one who rescues us. And his name is Jesus, and he's not finished with you yet. So thanks for joining us today for this very first episode of This is Salvation. We've talked a lot about what salvation means, but more than anything, we hope you've heard one thing loud and clear. You're not too far gone. God's grace is really for all of us. And this journey, it's only just beginning. You don't have to figure out everything in one episode. It's just an intro telling you what we're going to do. But maybe there's something, something to lean into. Start listening for God in a new way. And we'll be here every step of that way. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe and follow wherever you're listening so you don't miss a single episode. And if you know someone, a friend, a colleague, a family member who might benefit from this series, then why not share this with them? You never know what a small invitation might spark. In our next episode, we're joined by someone from our own community who thought God had completely given up on them. It's raw, it's a powerful testimony of failure, redemption, and that unexpected grace in their lives. We'd love to see you back for that.
We would.
So until then, keep asking the questions and keep searching, and remember, salvation is not something you earn, it's someone you meet. His name is Jesus, and he hasn't given up on you.